Fans Base. Look, on this edition of Arsenal Fans Base, it's starting on a very sad note. Arsenal just lost a former academy striker called Bill Viga, playing for Chichester City FC. And from the news reaching us, we understand that he had a collision. Probably he had a collision, a brick wall within the periphery of the pitch, and thereafter had some complications, sent to the hospital, and he died. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. It is what it is. Most times we sit here and criticize these players, but the things they go through in order to bring smiles on our faces is something that is unparalleled. So most times we just still need to temper justice with mercy, calm down when we are criticizing them, because they are human beings too. They put in blood, sweat, and energy to bring smiles on our faces. So when they don't do it correctly, it is important that we look at how to mitigate the circumstances and try to manage it. So just mellow down on the amount of criticism. Me, I'm one person that also criticizes them, but may the gentle soul of Bill Viga rest in perfect peace. Yes, it's going to be another bumper weekend for Arsenal. Arsenal have had 3 bumper weekends, Saturday super weekends. One, the loss, the one against Manchester United, when Manchester United were almost going to snuff out life from Arsenal. And against Liverpool, the loss at Anfield. And then against Man City, we're clutching back into that game at the 93rd minute when Martinelli had that poacher of a goal from a very cheesy deft pass. But somehow, this Super Sunday game is going to be against the Magpies. And the Magpies, over the years, are growing to become a bogey team for Arsenal. In fact, commentators will say they're becoming one of the top arch rivals of Arsenal in the English Premier League. I wouldn't know what Arsenal did to them, but each time they're playing against Arsenal, the amount of energy, zest, that they put onto the game is something that one cannot really come to terms with. You start wondering, where did this animosity come from? But it's not for the beauty of the game. But this is a game that is going to serve as a kind of redemption. Redemption in the sense that we're going to be looking at how we're playing. Are we going to improve, or we're going to continue with the handbrake pattern that we're playing with? Because this is one of the games that defines a team that want to win the Premier League. Your ability to go to a tough ground, come up with the result. But somehow, Arsenal have gone to a tough ground against the Reds, Manchester United. The one we just can easily argue that Manchester United are not on top of their game. But if you want to argue on that point, I will tell you that Manchester United, on that first game at the Old Trafford, they almost snuffed life out of us because we couldn't breathe for the entirety of the match. But somehow we were able to notch a victory. And the one against Liverpool, we had an upper hand in the first half. How did we allow Liverpool to escape from the dragnet? And before we know what is happening, Szoboszlai just undone us with that super strike. Okay, we thought we were going to have a moment of redemption against Manchester City. We played with the handbrake again, and somehow, in the 93rd minute, we were able to save our face. But this is a match that is going to really define how much this team have come together. This team with this armory of potential top world class players playing. Let's see if Arteta is that man, because this is one of the matches that I believe that will define if Arteta is truly the man that can take us across the line. No doubt he's a good coach. I've said it in one of our previous shows that has been able to bring harmony to the club. He has been able to bring unity. He has been able to bring, that ability for you to look at Arsenal and say you are proud to be an Arsenal fan. But what we need now is trophies. I used to call out for the head of the Kroenkes, but somehow I think they heard all our cries and heard all of the complaints, and they decided to support us. Kudos to Andre Beta, who is doing a fantastic job. I no doubt also want to say kudos to Andre Beta and the Arsenal hierarchy for ensuring that we notch down the signature of William Saliba. That's one player that would have been a minus for us if we have lost him to Real Madrid. But somehow he's been able to put down pen on paper for 5 years contract, which is fantastic. And the other player that is also coming up on the frenzy of getting signed is our star boy Bukayo Saka. They never say never. Please let us put pen to paper for Bukayo Saka. Now look at this match now. How are we going to really show up in this match? This is a team that will play 63 times, notching 40 victories over their 12, and there have been 11 draws between these two teams. And these two teams overall, cumulatively, look at the matches they've played in all competition in the Premier League. These two teams have scored 152 goals. And Arsenal have a total of 107 goals out of the 152 goals, with the Magpies scoring 45 of those goals. So it means that this match is going to be a match of energy, zest that's going to produce a lot of goals. But it all depends on how Arteta plays, because we've got the creative players that can do the damage against the Magpies, despite the fact that they play with a lot of energy, because you cannot underrate the playing pattern of Dan Burn, Joelinton, Murphy, Osula. Osula is doing very well too as a young player. You can't even undermine the playing prowess of Waterman, the young man that was signed from Germany as a striker. And also, don't forget that these guys are vying. They're also in the Champions League, and they're looking at how they're going to get better, of the way they've been playing. They lost the Champions League match against Barcelona and they want to come back. And they showed that recently in the Carabao Cup match where they won by 4-1. So for Arsenal, it is another opportunity for us to showcase our prowess, our formidability, and how we can go about notching the Premier League title. Because every match, as far as I'm concerned, going forward this season is a match of testament to show how much we've come, how much experiences that we've garnered from the last 3 seasons when we fluffed our lines. So we need to show that we have learned a lot from our past errors, past mistakes. St. James's Park is not going to be an easy ground, but we need to go there and get the victory. If we're able to go to Manchester United, Old Trafford to get a 1-0 victory, then we can do the same against the Magpies at St. James's Park, because we've got the arsenal, the armory to do the job or do the damage against the Magpies. Now I'm going to be looking at the players' selection. Personally, I want to go for a total win. I don't want to play with a handbrake. I want to see a lot of creativity. I want to see fluidity. I want to see direct play. I want to see us notching and taking our opportunities. So my lineup for this game is going to be David Raya in goal. I have the 2 centre-back pairing of Mosquera and Gabriel Magalhaes. I don't want to see Saliba. I want him to rest, because in the last couple of matches, or rather the last match he played, I wasn't too comfortable with him. Or yes, last couple of matches, the match he played against Manchester City, and even the one against Port Vale, where he was giving misplaced passes. I don't know whether it is the contract signing thing or negotiation that was having an impact on him. So I want to see Christian Mosquera, Gabriel Magalhaes in the center of the park. On the right side, I want to see Timber, and I want to see Calafiori, that has been good for club and country, on the left side. And in the 6, I want to see Zubimendi there. On my 10, I want to see Eberechi Chieze wearing his traditional number 10 shirt and playing in that position. Whatever Arteta is trying to do in order to save Odegaard is something that hasn't gone well, because that is what I believe. I believe he's trying to protect Odegaard. He doesn't want us to see the best of Eberechi in that position. We have fans that start crying hue and say, look, you need to continue to play this guy there. But for the fact that our captain, Martin Odegaard, has been nursing injury, I don't want to rush him into this game so that they don't go and aggravate the injury again. So let him heal properly. Eberechi starts in the number 10 position. In number 8, I want to see Declan Rice there. On the outside left, I want to see a Trossard, since it appears as if Martinelli is coming to fruition playing as a substitute. So if that is what is going to give us the edge over Tim Hill coming in as a super sub. Don't forget that this was the case last season when Martinelli was playing consistently, Trossard was coming as a super sub. He was notching goal and saving Arsenal. So if the reverse is the case, let us use it to our own advantage. And our striker, I want to see Victor Gyökeres there, and I want to see, rather than starting Starboy Bukayo Saka in this game, I would rather want him to come in the second half. Let us start Max Dorman. Because look, Max Dorman have already started playing in the Premier League, playing against the big boys. It never gets better. Just throw him into the frenzy. Let him go there. And that's the only way he's going to get experience. Let him start. Let him start playing in that position. And in the second half, probably play for the first 45 minutes. They can bring in Starboy. But this is a game that I'm going for the killer. Ask me what the scoreline prediction is going to be. I want to go for 3-1. I said I will defeat the Magpies by 3-1. And it is a game that I see that Victor Gyökeres is going to be scoring, and his scoring away is going to improve and increase his confidence going forward. And I believe that with this team, that they'll be able to play to his strength by giving him those passes. You know why I want him? Because I saw a sublime pass that Max Dorman gave him against Port Vale. That is one pass that nobody in the entirety of the team had ever seen Gyökeres or giving him such pass, even though he missed the opportunity of scoring in that game. But that pass was beyond my understanding. It was top notch, from the way he sneaked the pass for him and the guy ran onto it. So that's what we're saying. When this guy is making a lot of runs inside the box, outside the box, nobody's picking him up. He's going to get tired. So it is high time we began to play to his strength, because the essence of purchasing him for that amount. And this is a player that from the outset, he made up his mind. He did not dilly-dally. Even when United wanted to go and pull the plug against Arsenal by going behind to ask if the guy is available, or rather, when the sporting director of Sporting Lisbon, approached United telling them that, look, this player, we've not started anything with Arsenal, you can come in. The guy still insisted it is Arsenal or nothing. So for such player, it means that he has got, embedded in his veins that he's going to get this done. And the only thing we can do is to support him. As fans, we are supporting him, but the players on the pitch need to learn how to play to his strength, and so that we can see more of this celebration. Because Victor Gyökeres is the man that will help us produce those goals. But he cannot do it alone, except we do it collectively by supporting him. So for Mikel Arteta, please do not go to play against Eddie Howe with a handbrake. And for the Magpies, I think they've got a couple of players. If you're looking at the attack and looking at the kind of players that they have, Guimaraes is one player that I love so much. The way Joe Linton plays also, he plays with a lot of energy. And Trippier, okay, those guys are good players on a good day, but we shouldn't take them for granted. It is important that we go there and get the job done. Don't forget that this is still the Arsenal Fans Beat brought to you by Arsenal fans globally. It is important you go to the comment section and let us know if you agree with me on my team selection, my scoreline prediction. Because if you do that, together we'll keep on building this community. Don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, and keep making your comments count on this community, because together we can do a whole lot of stuff. Until I come your way again, and don't forget, it is the Arsenal Fans Beat. I say, come on, you Gunners!